Welcome back to Financial News You Can Use. My name is Neal Whittington. Thanks to Wayne Isaksen for the always entertaining Financial News You Can Use segment. Always animated stories over there. So Wayne, thanks for that. Today we're joined by financial advisor Matt Brenneman, very special guest. Matt, thanks for coming in and doing the show for us.
Thanks for having me out. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming in. Well, we're going to jump right into some questions. But before I do that, let me just have you introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about your background, how it came about for you to be a financial advisor, and why you're so excited about it.
Sure. I'm Matt Brenneman. It's very good to be here, and I got into this career, Neal. I sort of fell into it.
Right.
When my family and I moved from Virginia to North Carolina and our address changed, I got a letter from my insurance company stating that my policy was canceled because now I didn't live in the same state. And so I had to set out as a new customer to find coverage for myself. I believe health insurance is an important thing to have.
Sure.
And navigating that process was difficult. It was hard to find good advice and know exactly what to do. And that sort of was my first taste in the business, and saw an opportunity to be involved and really help people find the right direction for themselves.
Right. Matt, what is it exactly, if you can tell us in a couple minutes, what a
Sure.
financial advisor does?
Well, we do different things with different clients, but most often we're discussing their investment portfolios as well as some of the insurance that they hold. And that always backs into some tax and legal aspects of their decisions. And so we try to have as much information on hand for the client and really just try to understand their position.
Right.
And my personal take is to help them make the best decision possible, knowing what I know as if I were in their situation, and that's
Gotcha.
how I make my recommendations.
Well, that's a great segue into the next question. Why do people need the help of a financial advisor? Could they do it themselves, or?
Sure, I think you could do it yourself if you really put a lot of time into understanding everything that is out there, but that task is daunting.
Sure.
And you hear a lot of things out there that are misleading, and so people need a voice of reason and someone that they can trust to help them figure out what's best to do, and a qualified professional would be a great place to start.
Absolutely. We're going to go to a quick break, and we will be right back. You'll hear a word from our sponsors, and we'll be back with a few more questions from Mr. Matt Brenneman, Financial Advisor. Welcome back to Financial News You Can Use. My name's Neal Whittington. I have special guest Matt Brenneman, Financial Advisor, with us today. Matt, just jumping right back into the questions here. Topic of life insurance. There's many types of life insurance. Can you educate the people out there on the different types and maybe why they would need a certain one or not need a certain type?
Sure. Neal, I can definitely do that. There's two basic types of life insurance out there. Mm-hmm. Term insurance and permanent insurance. Term insurance is meant to last for an X amount of time, whether that's 10, 20 years, 30 years. And permanent insurance is meant to last your entire lifetime and also builds equity in some types of policies. And people use different types for different reasons, okay. But mostly what I'm using in my own practice is a combination of the two most often, okay. To meet people's needs as they change and evolve over time.
Gotcha. Moving into another big issue for a lot of people right now, retirement. Big question mark for a lot of folks with Social Security being a mess right now. Pensions for people looking really iffy. What can you recommend, for those people to protect themselves?
Well, there certainly is a lot of bad news out there for people 5 years from retirement and those who are in retirement. And really what people need to be doing is saving 20% of their income to prepare for retirement, whether that's in their IRA, their 401k, or other accounts. And find some positive things in your life and focus on those. There's so many negative things out there to get caught up on. Absolutely. And to distract you from really feeling good about your future and where you are now.
Sure. Especially in the news, right?
Yeah.
So how often should one's portfolio be reviewed, in your opinion?
Well, I think at least once a year. It depends on the client. Now, I work with people who like to look at it every 6 months, and I've heard of people wanting to review it weekly.
Okay.
And it really
Wow.
just depends on your own personal taste. But a good rule of thumb is just take a look at things once a year, because things change at a rapid pace,
Sure.
and they're going to continue to do so. And it's always good to check in, see where you are, and make sure there aren't minor changes or even major ones that need to be made at that time.
Right. Fantastic. Well, guys, that's all the time we have. Again, Matt Brenneman, financial advisor. Wayne will be back in just a couple of minutes. You'll hear a few words from our sponsors, and he'll be back with closing statements, his closing statements from Financial News You Can Use.